So last week, Gary Neville said that Manchester United need to sign a goalkeeper. Yesterday, he says they need to sign a midfielder. Mark, given the money spent already in this window, is it possible for United to go after a midfielder?
Manchester United have spent over £200 million so far in this summer, which is quite significant when Sir Jim Ratcliffe spent most of last season trying to shave costs, make staff redundant, try and make the operation a lot more streamlined because there was a lot of staff there. So they're trying to be creative and clever with what they do, but they have spent significantly in revitalising that front three, new faces at the top end of the pitch. But now it's funny, Gary Neville saying last week, need to sign a goalkeeper. Now he's saying I need to sign a midfielder. It feels like they're the two areas of concern for Manchester United. Goalkeeper, a six, someone who can bring energy and legs to that United midfield, which is going to be key. They have to be conscious of PSR, Manchester United, despite being one of those sides that turn over significant sums of money. They still have to respect the rules, and there has been a lot of spending there. Outgoings are going to be key between now and Monday, depending on how much they can generate there. But you'd imagine they will still be in the market to sign players, but they're going to have to be creative financially. Maybe a loan with an obligation might be something they look at. But yeah, definitely two positions of concern for Ruben Amorim.
Carlos Baleba feels like a slightly too expensive deal to do for Manchester United. He was taken off at half-time in Brighton's game against Everton yesterday, but Fabian Hertzler said it was tactical, nothing to do with injury, nothing to do with any speculation around Manchester United. Kevin, another player who's emerged, Angelo Silla from Stuttgart. He's a player of interest. There's not been any club-to-club contact, but would that be a good fit when you know what United are looking for in a midfielder?
I don't think so, actually. I really like him. He's great passer of the ball, sets the tempo of a game, can control a game, but actually has a minder at Stuttgart in Atakan Karatsor. He does all the dirty work, he does all the challenges, and Stiller can just get on with it and set the tempo. Him alongside Bruno Fernandes, I don't think is that right fit in midfield. The other thing as well is that financially, it's not a deal Stuttgart want to do. And they've dug their heels in with Nick Voltemade, not let him go to Bayern. They're not going to be bullied about this either. So it just financially, in terms of fit, it doesn't really feel like a deal I could see United doing at this stage.
There have been developments with Rasmus Højlund, and this has come from Sky in Italy and our colleague Gianluca Di Marzio. Now, what we have been saying is that Napoli have been in talks with Manchester United over the signing of Rasmus Højlund. They were willing to do a loan with an obligation. That is because AC Milan went in with the deal earlier on in this window, which was a loan with an option. But United and Rasmus Højlund wanted a permanent element added to that deal. So now Napoli have come into the mix. Antonio Conte really wants to bring him to Napoli. Now, the issue here is that Højlund, of course, has been omitted from the first two games of the season. As I mentioned before, Ruben Amorim has made that message. It's a very thinly veiled message. You're not in the plans. But now Napoli are really pushing. That is because they are willing to add an obligation. On paper, it might look like a loan with an option, but that option could turn into an obligation depending on appearances, on goals and on Champions League qualification. So according to Sky in Italy, it looks like that one is moving a tad closer.
We know that they have to offload players. Any news on the others, on the bomb squad?
Yes, Anthony, Real Betis, I've been saying this the whole transfer window. They are still pushing to do a deal for the Manchester United forward, Anthony. The clubs are in contact, but up until now, Betis